And you're tuning into the Black Fire Radio, and you listen to Massive Wagwan, Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Massive Show with your host, none other than Joey, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, Massive.
Bringing communities together around the world. Bringing worldwide online 24.
Where we play your music your way all day, every day.
Hi, Princess Diana.
Tell me what I want to do. All I need is got to love for you. Take me a man for you. Take me a man for you. Tell me what you want for you. Tell me a man for you. Because of you, I sing this song for you. Baby, do this song.
Exclusive Atlanta Extra.com.
Your style. Yes, family, Karibuni Sana to a beautiful station right here on the media of the 21st century. Karibuni Sana, this is the Black Fire Network radio station. 15 minutes past the top of the hour, and my name is Joby. To those who are here for the first time, shout out to Dance Republic. Thank you for the compliments. Shout out to Mr. Black Fire. Shout out to also Princess Diana, who's all right there saying hi. Hello to you too, and to everyone who's tuning in on these other platforms as well, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Hope you guys had a beautiful, beautiful night, and looking forward to having a beautiful, beautiful day for those who are getting ready for work. And of course, Karibuni Sana. 60 minutes past the top of the hour is the time right here on the 254. The weather today is a little bit chilly-ish. Yesterday it was actually very super cold yesterday, super cold. But today the weather is a little bit chilly-ish because I've worn a dress today, not a trouser literally. But anyway, Karibuni. Hope your weather on your end or the weather on your end is faring amazing and okay. But Karibuni Sana as we get to discuss about what is happening in South Africa, and this is regarding the Democratic Alliance Party, which we've seen, of course, joining hands with the other party, that is the party that has fought for freedom of the people since the apartheid time. And we've seen Ramaphosa, of course, he was inaugurated as a president. That was this Tuesday. was it on Tuesday or Wednesday? It was on Tuesday or Wednesday, if I'm not wrong. He wasn't relegated as a president. That was on Wednesday. And he promised the people something different. He said that this is actually a new era. It is crazy. And we've seen a couple of videos. Shout out to Keith, who shared a couple of videos right here. We've seen South Africans reacting differently when it comes to other African people from other countries concerned about the matters happening in their country. And I want to talk about what Malema is talking about, and something I talked about regarding the Indians also in Kenya. And this is when it comes to our enemies, not us wanting to address the issues how it is, not wanting to call them straight to their faces who they are, because we're scared of either being put away or either being not getting benefits from different other sources or different areas. If you try to look at yesterday, the video I was sharing about the Indian, we saw that she said that she recognized herself as a Kenyan, and we've seen they actually can say this because the Kenyan government has given them the citizenship. But despite all this, when you check into the history, we know that these people have done nothing but just literally make our people's lives suffer. You as an African person, if you actually tend to be working in an Indian company, we've seen majority of our people talking about racism. Shout to, I think there's someone who was mentioning right here on the chat when we were discussing this on Wednesday, also during the night. And it is crazy to see that Malema also comes ahead and says we are opposing the white supremacists, not the white people. I feel like that is actually a wrong term to use, according to me, and understanding you are a freedom fighter of the people. You should understand truly, if you don't want white supremacy, you should deal with the people also bringing the white supremacy in your country, right? So you can't tell me that you are opposing white supremacists in your country, but not the white people. You sound crazy according to me and according to how I understand things. I'm not going to deal with my enemy's power while my enemy is there and I'm saying I have no problem with that. That is basically what Malema is trying to tell us. But I'll be sharing the video because he spoke this on a speech he was making regarding the Democratic Alliance Party, calling them enemies. And of course, which you know they are an enemy, they are an enemy to the South African people. And whatever South Africa is doing is not going to be ending up well. We should also talk about something else to talk about yesterday, but I didn't. And that is regarding the stepson of an ex-Malawi leader who last year, that was actually not last year, but 2022, he was found or he was connected to some human trafficking. And this human trafficking, actually, we had some body organs that were missing. And these were Ethiopian immigrants whose body were found in an unmasked mass grave. So since then, it is 2024. This case has never been dealt with. This case has not been discussed, but it's back. So I'm going to be reading of what is going on as we continue with the conversation. And again, if you try check that I uploaded yesterday on our TikTok yesterday, I tried to say how, again, our politicians have managed so well to escape with this body organs harvesting business, which is happening in Africa. And it is sad to see that African people were not well educated about our melanin color. And I'll be showing the video of that young lady again. And I've spoken about this before. And this lady spoke about the importance of our melanin, how we can't learn this from someone who does not have melanin because they don't have it. They don't have empathy. But I've spoken about where African people, we miss this point because we're not really well educated about who we are, about our history. But hey, it's not too late because African people are tapping into it. But shout out to Say Mburu, shout out to John Sherehe, shout out to user 260. Hope you guys are doing great and welcome to today's conversation. Nona Eric Umondi is already on the streets today. I don't know if he's already buried his brother. I'm quite surprised to see that he's recovered super quick, but hey, revolution waits for no one, you know, revolution waits for you. So I'm so happy to see that it could be still morning, but he has also taken time to at least go and support Kenyans on what they were doing yesterday. Could be the wrong day, but at least, and we've seen Eric Omundi, even without all these demonstrations that have been well organized, that the CNN has called violent. We shall go back to that. You know, he's been doing this actually trying to fight for the rights of the citizens. We don't know the agenda. We've spoken again. We don't know the agenda of Eric Omondi on him having all this or calling out on the government, calling them out for not fulfilling the needs of the people. But we shall be seeing at the end of the day in 2007, not 2007, but 2027, 2027 coming up election. So karibuni sana, those are major conversation for today. One Malema has said, what is happening, what happened yesterday in the 254 regarding the protest. CNN has labeled the protest as a very violent protest, and we know this was a very peaceful protest. Shout out to Larry Madowo. I really hate Larry Madowo. You are a coon, okay? I don't want to say I really hate you. That sounds wrong. I don't project hate. I've never and I will never. I really don't like you for shit. That is what I'm going to say. You are a coon of the CNN, and you know whatever they are reporting is so wrong. You was on the ground giving CNN reports of what was happening yesterday, and then you see them timing actually in labeling our violence, our demonstration violent, which wasn't. The violence only occurred when, and I believe this is the time only the violence occurred when the police started again throwing tear gas on people. And we had one person who was shot dead. We'll discuss on that. So karibuni sana. It is crazy to see that actually the police ended up opening up, real bullets despite a very peaceful day of demonstration. So one had to just take advantage. There's always just one person who's always going to take advantage, waiting for the blood to be shed. It is crazy. Shout out to the good boy, but of course, I'll be coming back with much more of what is happening in Burkina Faso, where we can see there's an attack in the army base, and also we shall talk about what is also going on countries of Africa. Karibuni sana, back to one more jam, a short, quick one as we come back with the quote of the day as we get started with the conversation of today. In case you're there for the first time, karibu, let me know doing today. Allow what wako kwa streets. What are you doing? I've seen, of course, yesterday, like I was discussing, the list of the MPs has been released, but we're trying to see what's the next movement that Kenyans are looking forward to make. Are we going to invade their offices, their homes? Are they going to surrender their assets like we can see some of the Migori County MPs are doing? Or what is really going to be happening? So karibuni sana, this is Brooklyn Boys with Gear 5. Enjoy the jam. I'll be coming back after this short one. Try to listen, Moriam.
We go here and there, scare. We go there and here. Blink of an eye, disappear. Pia muda na ndeko stuff. So the girls na chapa na steers. After this don't pattern traffic. Niko mamanya, I got no fear. Anajifanya skia. Fave flavor lazima utasikia. Shinsia na katisia. Niko na chela kwa kingdom. Window green sign the kingdom. This of window that goes about kingdom. You step on the back, you live now. Every day you say this kingdom. Adios amigo, can't catch me from coming my shit. Adios amigo, dust. Adios amigo. Adios amigo, bye. Adios amigo.
Yes, so my quote of today is: you can't solve your problems in peace. You can never solve them in war. If you can't not solve your problems in peace, you cannot solve them in war. That is an African proverb of today, and this goes actually to our own dear protesters who held a very peaceful demonstration yesterday, but we clearly seen that our government refuses to let go of the war. You can. If you cannot solve your problems in peace, you can solve them in war. You can, sorry, no, you can't, but you cannot solve them. Yeah, you cannot solve them in war. So what we see is actually our puppets declaring war, and the African people and the Gen Zs are so ready. They are so ready to go, which is not what we had planned yesterday. But apparently one of the people during the demonstration towards the end of the day, because the demonstration actually went, I think, till around 9 p.m. I'm not sure, but till around 8 p.m. people were still on the streets chanting they don't want tear gas, they want bomb. Shout out to our Kenyan people. I tell you, Kenya is never a dump, literally, never ever. So we had people chanting they don't want tear gas, they want bomb instead. You know, the police officers should stop using the tear gas. They should throw a bomb at them just to keep them silent if that is what they want. End of the day, we had a police officer who opened a firearm, and one of the people or one of the demonstrators who was there demonstrating peacefully ended up being shot. And of course, Kenyans are so angered about this. And that was yesterday when we were discussing actually where we had one of the politicians right here, that is the CS of tourism. He went ahead and said that it is so crazy to see that 2 police officers have been armed for the in the last 2 days of protest, but not even one civilian was armed. So this seems like, you know, even the police officers themselves, it's like they're doing some sort of revenge, you know. There's no way one of us or one of two or three of our people, they're doing this or they've gone through this, and then we let you guys go scot-free. So I feel like that is what is actually going on here. One or two, 3 person is always, there's always just that one damn person who always wants to revenge. And that is what it feels like. It feels like a revenge on literally the innocent, peaceful protesters. But shout out to the young guy. He is 29 years of age, and he has been shot dead. And of course, Kenyans are so mad about this. And I see that the BBC has also reported on it, and that they are updated. Shout out to Jibajaba, karibu sana. Hope you're doing great, and welcome to the conversation of today. So yes, Kenyans are very angered after a man was shot dead yesterday in the anti-tax protests that were going on yesterday. Of course, I don't want to go through everything. I kept you guys on the know. We discussed this. We've been discussing it throughout the whole week, and we're waiting to see next week. Kenyans are still taking it to the streets, and that they have vowed that they shall actually also still occupy the offices of the 204 MPs who voted yes on this financial bill. 115 voted no, for those who are not updated, and 204 voted yes. So Kenyans are very, very mad about this. And also after this 29-year-old guy was shot. So anti-tax protests, in Kenya are in shock after a 29-year-old man was killed during nationwide demonstration against a new financial bill that is being proposed. Rex Kanyike Masai died of gunshot wounds. A doctor from a hospital in the capital city of Nairobi was the one telling the local news papers. And police fired tear gas and water cannons at peaceful protesters near the parliament as lawmakers were debating proposal to bring in new taxes. Amnesty International has accused the police of using excessive force to contain protesters, saying that 100 people were arrested. That was yesterday. I'm not sure about that, and I've not heard about that. I've not heard about the arrest of people. Yo, do you guys know? Shout out to user 43. For those who are live with us on TikTok, maybe from the 254, I could not be, maybe I'm not aware, but I didn't see anyone yesterday being arrested. So is this where we go ahead and say that also the mainstream media could be lying? It could be true, because we're not sure of what was really going on the ground. The police officers, remember, they were there even before the demonstrators were there. So I'm not sure if truly, shout out to DJ Stenge, I'm not sure if yesterday there was anyone who was arrested. I doubt it. But we keep it at that. I'll let you guys know maybe towards the end of the day. But they're also saying that when the protests dubbed Occupy Parliament began on Tuesday, the public outcry forced the government to withdraw some of the contentious provisions, including a 16% tax on bread and annual 2.5 tax on vehicle. But it had not stemmed the anger of the mainly youth protesters, and they are focused on the government of President William Ruto. Since becoming the president, he has introduced several new and unpopular taxes, which critics say stifle economic growth and lead to job losses. Exactly, because how are you taxing people who do not even have jobs? Number one. That is one thing we've spoken about. We've questioned that. If you look at the percentage of unemployed youths in Kenya, it is very big. Majority of the people, even you are trying to task their content creators, like I said yesterday, most of these young people have established themselves in their lives right now through the internet. And this is why they're able to mobilize and actually organize demonstrations, because this is their platform and this is what they get and make money. You're touching people's pockets. They say that the police say that they have visited the scene of the shooting and are investigating the circumstances of Mr. Masai's death. Activist Boniface Mwangi has said that the young man was only carrying a national identity and his phone and had not been armed. And that is true because we have known his information if he didn't have his identification card, which is the only thing that was recovered. I'm not sure about the phone. He only had a phone and a national ID, and he was shot dead. And the image, I think, the people, if our youths are capable of even leaking the numbers of these politicians and doing so much, I believe there's a possibility of this police officer being discovered. So far, so good. I've seen images going viral, a video going viral of some of the police officers who are seen trying to, package the bullets, the live bullets, and they are being looked for. Kenyans are literally hunting them down. So I believe the one who shot this young man yesterday, the video is there, and if it can be zoomed enough, because it was late, I believe we can identify who it is. I believe we do have intelligent machines and all that to do all this job. But RIP, rest in power to the young man who has lost his life, and justice to the parents. And this is where, again, we go back when we're questioning if it is okay for also civilians to take matters into their hands when it comes to handling our police officers, because when it comes to us, they want to actually harass us. But when it comes to me as a citizen, I want to defend my own personal rights, it becomes a problem. That was like 2 weeks ago, we were discussing about Ian Joroge, one of the young people here at Gen Z again, who did hit and knock down a police officer. The case went on and on and on and on, but he was pardoned literally and released on a fine and bond of I don't know how much, but it was a lot of money. But at the end of the day, the questions we were having here, and so many questions that citizens were asking, is until when will we keep on watching the police officers attack people and we keep quiet about it? When it comes to them, they should be favored, but when it comes to the common mwananchi, that's it. Now the question is this police officer who has shot this young man going to be ending up in jail, or are we going to see the consequences vile tulikuwa tunasikia na Finyanga Magwado pia? Because someone said that we don't know the consequences of what these police officers go through, or we don't understand what police officers go through, especially when they do wrong. We have no idea what they go through. We need to see what they go through, because what they make us go through is evidently seen by everyone. So we should also have the ability to see what they go through to understand that they are punished. That is my petition right now. We should be able to see the police officers being punished so we can know they are being punished. That is my petition. There's no lives that are going to be literally, we're going to have so many lifeless people who are protesting peacefully. And then you're told that the mwananchi is on the wrong for trying to correct a police officer. They should and more and more and more. But that is what is going on. Of course, Kenyans are very mad. People are very, very mad about this situation. But are we going to see what is going to be happening? Of course, people are going on Tuesday on the streets again. The number one chant should be justice to Rex, justice to the parents of Rex, and justice to Rex himself as well, because nobody was supposed to be shot yesterday. No police officers was allowed to use any live bullets. The president had given us the previous day the right to demonstrate. So it is crazy to see this happening. It is so crazy to see that this happening. But moving on to the next conversation is about Burkina Faso. And we can see that there is an attack that is in the army base, and which is a rumor, but we want to read and see if it is truly a rumor or what is happening. But there's been an attack that reportedly killed more than 100 soldiers. So it's not a rumor, but of course BBC claims it's a rumor. An attack that reportedly killed more than 100 soldiers on the army base in Burkina Faso has snowballed into speculations about an arrest in the security forces in a country where the military has been in power since 2022. The leader of the military junta has since appeared on the TV stage in an attempt to debunk the rumors. And Burkina Faso has been battling Islamist insurgents for several years, but about half of the country is outside government control. Outside government control. But they're also claiming that jihadist group Jamaat Nusra and Al-Islam has said it was behind last Tuesday's attack in the northern town of Mansilla. The following day, there was an explosion near the headquarters of the state television. Wow. Wow. Headquarters at the state television. And according to the several reports, armed men, so they're trying to stop this country, number one, even from reporting its own information. That is what I'm picking from here. They're trying to stop Burkina Faso from reporting its own information, because do remember Burkina Faso chased away all the mainstream medias, that is BBC, CNN, the French, I don't know what, and all of them. They have been chased out. So claiming that there was an attack, there was an explosion near the headquarters of the state television. They're trying to stop the country from reporting its own information. That is what I'm getting. I'm trying to understand right here, but maybe I could be misunderstanding. But they're also saying, according to the several reports, armed men attacked the military base located near the border with Niger. That was 11th of June. And according to 100 soldiers, around 100 soldiers were killed and many others were missing. Reports say, adding the several hundred civilians fled Mansilla for neighboring towns in search of safety. 5 days after the attack, Jim and Al-Qaeda affiliates said that it was behind the attack and that the dozens of soldiers were killed. Well, again, I thought the Russia machineries had already arrived. That is the number one question I have right here. As we continue, I thought the Russia machineries had already landed in the country. Let me see. Maybe I could be wrong. Let me see. Let me see. Just a minute. In Burkina Faso. Okay, so this was on 28th of January. Mouthpiece close of the Caribbean announced the arrival of Russian military specialist. Okay. Okay, so that was actually 3 days ago. Right, that shout out to K Williams, karibu sana. Shout out to Still African. Shout out to Sheila, karibu sana. Shout out to Macho. Welcome to have a live with us on TikTok. Princess Diana, I see you back. Welcome. But let me read this. So they're saying this was actually 3 days ago. They're saying that dozens of Russian military instructors did land in Burkina Faso. And yeah, dozens of Russian military instructors have arrived in insurgency hit Burkina Faso following a jihadist attack in the receptive north, about which the authorities have remained silent. So yeah, so this happened, but the Russia military instructors came straight into the country. So this is what we can say, that actually Russia is really, really ready to help, but we can see the West is doing its best to ensure the country, number one, is destroyed. The country is fueled with more violence. They are trying every means to ensure that this country will not literally become what they aim to become, which is them being stable. But shout out to Rahim Taroy for understanding his role, and the people also backing him up on this. Shout out to also Russia, who we can see the intentions so far are good, and they're trying their best to help the democratic countries that is in the western parts of Africa. But we have Keith in the house. Karibu sana, Mr. Blackout Fire. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Karibu sana Keith, can you hear me?
I hear you, Joby. Sunday, Sunday.
Hey, what's up? Why are you so tired?
I'm lifting heavy as shit. Oof. Got my this thing out the way. Go ahead, Joby. Go ahead. I'm sit back on pop myself on mute for a second. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. God damn. Sorry. But anyway, family, as we get to continue, that is what is happening in Burkina Faso. But let me know what you guys think about this, where there was an attack on the army base, and where we can see Russia. Immediately after that happened, we had Russian military instructors who landed in Burkina Faso, and they did try actually to also attack the country state television. That is, I think, where their media is based. For them, I think this is them trying to stop them from, spreading any information on what is happening in the country, so that they can come with their fake mainstream media to fuel fake information and bring back the same people that the country has tried and battled so hard to get them out. But moving on, this is about the Malawi ex-leader's stepson, who in 2022, I reported his case, where we had numbers of bodies that were found. And this case is yet to be debated, but I see that it has been brought back. They're saying that the stepson of Malawi ex-president Peter Mutharika has been acquitted of all charges in a case in which he was accused of human trafficking and aggravated manslaughter. And personally, I love checking into words before I get to move on. I want to understand what acquitted means. I could be understanding. Okay, let's see.
Found innocent, Joby. Found innocent is what it means.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. I said found innocent.
Wow. Is battling, and why we are on the streets, because we have people in power walk scot-free with everything they have done to the people. So this was in 2022. The case has taken over 2 years end, but this guy has been found guilty. Even despite, oh my God, this is just so crazy. But they're saying that the stepson of Malawi's ex-president, Peter Mutharika, has been acquitted of all charges in a case in which he was accused of human trafficking and aggravated.
He's guilty, but he's part of the ruling class of Malawi. So he's not going to be prosecuted because Africa is steeped. And that's why the youth are out there in Kenya. That's why everything's going to be. That's why you got revolution coming. I told you it's coming, Joby. All these puppets and corrupt people that the Europeans have left there, they're going to get this work. You can't be stopped. You can't be stopped now.
Tadirika Mafobza and 7 other men were arrested in November 2022 after police said that they were linked in the deaths of 29 suspected Ethiopian immigrants whose bodies were found in unmarked mass grave.
I bet those were the black Ethiopians, not the mixed ones they show. I bet they were the black ones, not the ones they show you. They have white looking ones, the damn mixed ones who are not even Ethiopians. The fucking mixed. I bet they was the black ones.
They say that the ex-president Mutharika said that at the time he was shocked by the police action, saying his stepson was arrested without being in any evidence linking to any crime. After an ordeal lasting more than 19 months, Mr. Mafubza and his co-accused were cleared following a full trial. They're saying that we are pleased with the outcome. That is his lawyer, and he says, to be honest, as the evidence against our client was disjoint. However, God damn, I mean, ain't we surprised? Even Ruto's evidence on the 2007 election was, what's the term? Disjoint. That's the term. Even Uhuru still become president.
You see how CNN's line about the movement, talking about this violent. There's been no violence at all, except for the police. Because because the people that run this planet told you put out a fake narrative. It's always all propaganda for the people that's actually trying to get free of their system. So they'll tell us, "Oh, Kenya's having violent protests, violent." Has been no violence except
So
from the police.
what I'm understanding from this Malawi story, this happened in 2022. Then take me back to Chad, right? We had children who were found on a plane. They didn't know how
Yeah.
they found themselves there, these children. They didn't know. They were crying. They just got lost their way and they found themselves in the airport
No,
with a plane. This,
that's what the white people said. The kids are kids.
of course, no,
The white people-
I'm a kid, but I can literally locate where Jomo Kenyatta National Airport is and where the right plane of the other kids is. That is where I'm going. I mean, what kind of sensors? How am I built? How can I be
child,
able to connect with other kids like
it,
that? Like,
it, it's
what
child
type of magic?
trafficking, Joe. You know what it is. You know it's child trafficking for organ harvesting and also for sex abuse and pedophilia. Like I showed
Mm-hmm,
Iritan on her show today. I mean Iritan and Shimani on the Vibe show. I was showing them the bodies up in Libya of all the Africans who were stacked in the streets like logs, and all the organs stolen from the children to the women to the black men. When
mm-hmm,
when they overthrew Gaddafi, they went back to the same old hatred of black people because that's who these fake Arabs are. So they went
mm-hmm,
and you found all these black people stacked up in the streets like logs with all the organs gone, Joe. The children, the little girls, little boys, black women, black men, stacked in the streets of Libya, all the organs
mm-hmm.
gone.
Exactly. Shout out to Awino. Thank you so much for tapping the screen and welcome. It is so insane, but this explains a lot about the same puppets we have, in power. The puppets. This explains a lot about them and African children always missing. Our African people always missing. Found somewhere with some organs missing.
Yeah.
This is where we
Oh,
need to, we as
Joby,
African
Joby,
people.
Joby,
Hmm?
Joby. Black organ harvesting is a multi-billion-dollar business yearly. Multi,
I know.
not multi,
I.
billions of dollars on African people because you're melanated. You're the
Mm-hmm,
best organs.
mm-hmm. It is true, but I want to share this video right here, and it's a video you've shared with me before on TikTok, and I was saying that this is the reason why I feel like African people are so lost because we're not really educated about most of this information, how important our melanin is, the capability
Yeah.
of our melanin, the capability of how and
Good.
why these people really are so thirsty. That's the term for our blood.
Right. That's
They are
right.
thirsty
That,
literally for our blood.
of course you're not taught none of that. That's why you got skin bleaching going crazy over in Africa and in the
Hmm?
Caribbean, everywhere.
Let me see if I can find it. What's her name? She called something. I remember I shared it right here. That was like last week. If I can find it. God damn. Okay. Let me see if it's this one. Okay, as it loads, I'll share it as we get to continue. I see my internet is a little bit slow, but as we get to move on to the next conversation, which is our main conversation, is about Julius Malema, and he did speak about something which I want to share and talk about. And personally, it is regarding, again, us recognizing and identifying our enemy, which African people we've not been able to do so, understanding that white people are not our saviors but our enemies. Again, we have no friends. We try so much and as hard as we can as African people try to say, you know, not all of them are bad. Yeah, there's that, but is the percentage of the majority evil? That, look at the percentage of the majority and
Yes.
those who do not really have the Karen or the racism in them, those who try and understand where Africans are coming from or why we blame them for messing up our history, our civilization, and all that. So we've been speaking about South Africans and of course the Democratic Alliance Party and the other party, the ANC. And we've seen, of course, Ramaphosa has taken over once again for his second term, becoming a coon and selling out South Africans. South Africans themselves, like I said yesterday, they have accepted this because the rest of the African people are calling you and trying to help you, but you think you're way better than the rest. And I want to share this video from Julius Malema. He says where he has no problem with white people, but he has a problem with the white supremacists. And my first question was, how is it that you're dealing with a problem brought by your enemy, but you don't want to tackle the enemy? Because that is what I'm picking.
Because he's trying to be politically correct. He's trying to say not all of them, Joby. He's trying to, not all of them, but they all practice it, Joby, and they all benefit from it. No.
I agree. But at this point, I feel like for us to be able to correct what is really happening in Africa, it's not time to check who's right, who is wrong, who is better or not. We want all of you out like a mean type of system. We want all of you to kick rocks. If you come in here, you come in with a purpose. You're not coming here just because Africa is a toilet you can pop and shit out. No, it's not. You are coming here with a purpose. We need to know who are we dealing with. How many genocide or how many murders have you committed outside here? Do you many Africa literally holds so many white people that have killed fellow Africans from their country and they come and stay here?
Yes.
And I've come to recognize that. So many white people who have walked away with murder in their own country, killing African people, but they come here.
Yeah, and remember, a lot of South Africans who committed murder moved to Kenya back in the 1950s, Joe. Remember you? Yeah. So they still living the white people you see there came from South Africa for murdering Africans there. Moved to Kenya.
It is sad, and again, it is sad. You know, once a criminal, always a criminal. That's just because you move to another country doesn't mean that you're gonna change your behavior. You're gonna catch, especially with our very own women who and understanding poverty, which is what the youth are trying to fight. You know, when you have that poverty mindset, and which I'll share the video. Shout out to Dr. Akim. The name of this guy always keeps on disappearing in my mind. I know it's Dr. someone, but he spoke about where African people always seeking validation of the white man's savior. You need to save yourself. The white man is not there to save you. So let me share this.
The DA is our enemy. These right-wing and neoliberal parties represent a reactionary, counter-revolutionary, and neo-colonial agenda which seeks to protect the existing property relations in South Africa, where the white supremacy continue to be the economic majority. We are not opposed to white people. We are opposed to white supremacy. We are opposed to racism. We are opposed to Africanism. We are opposed to white monopoly.
But you see, it is wrong to tell South Africans that the fact that you are opposing just white supremacists at this point, personally, and understanding what and seeing what South Africans are doing, I don't feel like it is correct, me being a freedom fighter, that I'm only fighting white supremacists. These people are so done messed up in their head to think that white people are not the problem. And they're not the problem of white supremacists. So you need to make them understand, number one, you have a problem with the white man, and that's why you have a problem with the white supremacist. You have to educate your own people very correctly. You can't just jump from one group to another. No, you have to take them.
And Joby. And it's the same problem with black people everywhere on the planet with white people.
Exactly. It is not about at this point I'm emphasizing South Africa, trust me. I'm not. The way I always emphasize a lot on Nigeria, oh my, South Africans is your turn. I'm on your neck this time. You guys need to be, you need to be very well educated. I mean, we can see the rest of African people are trying to get you guys know and understand what is going on. But it is sad again to, you see, you are in a slum, but you think you're better than someone who's in Kenya. Huh?
Yeah.
You're in a slum, but you think you're better than someone who's in Nigeria.
That's right.
You're in a slum, but you think you're better than someone who is in Malawi or Namibia.
That's
actually,
right.
Namibians are actually suffering the same consequences as you guys. And they're speaking about it. That's the good part. They're not actually trying to like the whole thing. They're calling out all these embassies. These people.
But Joby, our country's developed. You just want to come there because my country's developed. How dare you?
But shout out to Soniela. Karibu sana. Nice to see you. Says, I loved your morning guest. I missed the guest personally. Came in late, but Karibu sana. This is the Pan
Yeah, I
African
was.
Bliss.
Yeah, she was good at them at educating. She's like, thank you for the education. I'm so stoked. I said, yeah, that's what I do. Gotta educate you. You gotta break your heart, break your back, and educate you. You leave out as a warrior.
Mm-hmm. True.
Capital. Any other progressive name that gets to be put forward by the president of a white person, Indian person, colored person, African person, as long as that is a progressive name, will support it. To invite the DA is to invite supervisors.
I mean, isn't that what Africa has always been doing? Inviting supervisors to come and supervise everything we are doing, That is what they have been doing, supervising us and all that. But again, I want to
Exactly.
share this. As we talk about the white supremacists, there's this. I've shared a video of this lady before, and I think it was you, Keith, who made me pull up the video of her. She was talking about something I can't remember. But here she talks about nobody educated her about her being an African woman and how there is lack of generational wealth, something we've been talking about throughout this whole week,
Yes.
where the majority of black, it's actually the biggest percentage of the black people is just a few percentage of those who get to pass generational wealth. It's
Yeah.
just a few you can count.
Jo,
It's beneficial.
Joby, we're on the bottom, Joby, globally, and because everything's been stolen from our wealth has been stolen, given to other people, and they got generational wealth off our backs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So as I share with that video of the Julius Malema, this is for South Africans. You need to understand that black oppression is globally, and you need to understand you're dealing with an enemy. And this is what this lady is trying to say. And what Julius Malema is saying by first not understanding that you need to point at the enemy as much as recognizing the enemy's problem, I feel like she explained it better. Let me.
In all of the programs that I attended, all of the education that I had, college,
Yeah.
public, and otherwise,
Sister soldier.
nobody ever
You're
told me
uneducated.
that I was an African
Exactly.
woman. Nobody ever
Right.
told me what the history of African people were. Nobody
Nope.
ever told me that America is business, and without business, you will have nothing and be nothing. And nobody ever told me how to organize this so that I would be able to develop institutions in my own community. So now the sincerity of all of the programs and all of the education has to be questioned, indicted, and convicted, because the bottom line is
Exactly.
that America is not and has never tried to produce African adults who are functional, self-sufficient, who understand their
citizens.
politics,
Right.
their economics, and their relationship to the world politics and the world economics.
Exactly.
Relation to world politics. That is the number one thing I underlined. Like, you need to
Exactly, Joby.
understand your relation as an African person, as a black person, your relation of the world politics. Like,
Exactly. Yes.
do I really fit in this society? Okay, fine.
Yes.
I am myself here, but there's something going on wrong, and I need to understand what is it, especially me being a black person.
Exactly.
That math, I feel like it makes. This is why we have people who have tapped into, those who are woke, I'd say. This is why we have Africans who are woke, because we are in that ability of questioning some few things. You are giving yourself a
Exactly.
chance and a room to also learn, So it is crazy, but shout out to all our South African people. Shout out to Joseph Mwangi. Jiba Jaba says back in the 18s, Pennsylvania Governor Cassie received an organ transplant after they pulled the plug prematurely on a young black man. They lied to the mom about his condition.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of videos.
They killed the black guy to give the white man, the governor of Jibba Jabba State, the white man's organs, because they need the black person's organ. That's how wicked they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think there's a video I was to share also on the same one when we were talking about why black women were. Let me first share this one where we have Dr. Human. I think that is his name. I'm not sure. Human, Dr. Sam. I don't really know his name correctly. This guy. Dr. Human, Dr. something. I don't know his name.
Time and time again.
What is his name?
Umar
I keep on forgetting.
Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah,
This crazy,
yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy bastard. Crazy bastard.
reason black folks are so comfortable being oppressed, the reason you are so comfortable with the white man's foot on your neck is you are waiting for the white man to finally accept you.
Yep.
Mhm.
You are waiting for the white man
Those are South Africans right now.
to
Of
finally
course.
accept you.
Of course.
You are waiting for the white man to finally accept you. Your imam and your preacher, has convinced you that this world is ran by the Bible and the Quran.
Thank you, Tweak3, for following the live creator.
I said your
You got,
imam and
you
your
got that
preacher
right.
has
Right,
convinced
exactly.
you that
The
your
world run by
world
Bible
is
Quran.
ran by the Bible and the
Exactly.
Quran. I said your imam and your preacher has convinced
Exactly.
you
Shout
that
out,
this
shout out
world
to,
is
shout,
ran.
shout out to, pause it. Shout out to Joby's daddy. He's now an imam and a bishop.
Yeah. Oh, no, well done. No, it's crazy when you are a pastor in the house, but the rest of the people in the house are not even, all Christians, but you are a bishop. So it is a confused house because my sister is Muslim,
Of
my
course.
dad is a bishop. I don't know, my
Of
stepmom,
course.
she's like a Muslim, but she's a Christian. It's confused,
It's crazy. You got Muslims and Christians in the same house. It's a crazy house.
Bible and the Quran, and because you think you live in an Islamic world, and because you think you live in a Christian world, you are sitting around waiting for the white man to become a good Muslim and a good Christian and to finally accept your black ass. And I'm here to tell you it's never going to happen. I'm here to tell you it's never going to happen. You waiting for the white man to wake up and say, you know what? I am sorry. Black people are waiting for a deep, honest, sincere. Black people are waiting for a deep, honest, sincere, heartfelt apology from the man who has had his foot on our necks for 500 years. You're never going to get that apology. You are never going to get that apology.
And they told you, white people have been telling it in your face. You want Wakanda, but you expect a white man to bring you Wakanda. Come on, keep on waiting. They're going to bring it to you in their own version.
Also on Shamani and Irritan show this morning, I showed with a white South African told it now they're back in Parliament. They're being honest and brutal again. They told the Africans that if you think you're going to get the land from us that we stole from you, it's going to be a war and we'll kill every last one of you. That's what they said in South Africa. They said we'll kill every last one of you. See, they're being open now. Now they're back in Parliament. They're being honest. You think you're going to get your land back, Joby, that we stole from you? It's going to be war. We'll kill every last one of you. Wow. I'm like, wow.
Today in the morning, I was getting ready and cleaning the house. Then I was like, what if there's a way? If we all the strong men, where are they? We need to find a way. What if we tell these people and challenge them? Put your weapons down. Come face me as an African, hand on hand. Like come face me, hand on hand, and you see how many we can knock down. Okay, we don't need no guns. We don't need no bombs. No nuclear weapons. We don't need no tear gas. We don't need no water cannons. We need nothing. Come like that as you are. Come like that. The way we come, demonstrating for our peace, you come and prevent your land as you are. Stop threatening us with the guns and everything. You found us with no weapons. We had none of that. None of that. So you come as you are. I feel like that is the greatest challenge you can ever give a white man. And you see how many we can knock down. Oh my God. How many can we knock down? And I bet it's all of them.
They're not going to come, Joby. No, they know they're not going to come, Joby. They know they can't beat you one-on-one.
Because they know the strength we have. That's why every time they're always going to see a black man, even we've seen them, even they see children with toy guns, immediately, or calling the cops on us. Because I feel like they do know the strength we have as African people. With their weak ass, there's nothing they can do. If I touch you, you're dead. You're turning red. You're turning nothing but red, literally. So keep off. That is why they're so quick to defend themselves with these guns and everything.
Of course, that's
But
why they invented. That's why they invented them, Joby. They couldn't.
mhm,
Told you they couldn't. They couldn't come into nowhere until they created that.
mhm. So let me share.
They'd always lose. Go ahead.
I want to share the last video on that one. How why the white people relied on the black woman, which you've taught us, of course, a couple of times. Let's see if I can find the video. Why they took the black woman to breastfeed their babies because they didn't have the nutrients and proteins that the black women have. So let me try.
Yeah, I told you that because of what mineral, Joby? What mineral? Say it.
Iron.
Melanin. No,
Melanin?
melanin. Yes, that's in your breast milk. Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Internet is loading slow. If I won't find, I see my internet is slow. Like I have the page with me, but my internet is kind of 1969. Is that when European tried to do?
So what they would do, Joby, because they know they would rape a black woman. They would rape them because they didn't have babies. They would rape them to make them pregnant. Probably sell the baby or kill it so they can feed their children black people's breast milk because your melon, the black woman, the black people have more iron and minerals in our bodies than they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they know all that.
But yeah, I seem to find it this page, so I'll share it. But of which you guys do know, of course. But African people, majority of us have no clue of that information. Personally, I've learned that right here. So you can imagine how many have no or do not know that information. That we had black women feeding the white people's children,
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy. It is super, super crazy. But we're wrapping it up, and as we wrap up, we seen Eric Omondi once again is on the street demonstrating the financial bill. He was mourning his brother that was who was on an accident. Eric Omondi is one of the biggest comedians we have in the 254. He started as a comedian. Right now he's helping people. We don't know his agenda, if it's all about political in 2027, but
his brother's not the one who got killed, is it? His brother's not the one who got killed, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. The brother got an accident. That was during the last weekend. He lost his brother, but still he has turned out today to show support to Kenyans and to show us that he is standing with us despite everything he's going through. He has been arrested. After that, immediately he was arrested. We're not sure if he's been released, but we'll check during or towards the end of the day. But yes, that is what is happening on today's conversation. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in. Have an amazing day. We've discussed on Burkina Faso. We've discussed on Kenya. One guy was shot yesterday. After a peaceful demonstration, police decided to open the firearms, and which is not allowed, because why are you shooting me when I'm peacefully demonstrating? And this is a call on the Ruto's government and all the puppet state countries, not just Kenya.
You're showing that it's criminal. Yeah. You see, you notice none of these puppet African states have even talked about what's going on in Kenya because they're scared to death that their people going to just start uprising. You ain't seen none of them say a damn thing, Joby. They're quiet as a church mouse, not saying nothing.
None of them. I'm just seeing white people are the ones reacting on TikTok, explaining to the rest of the world what is happening in Kenya for those who do not understand. Because I've seen one white guy before I started the show on TikTok, he was like, God damn, I'm receiving a bunch of messages. What is happening in Kenya?
Got the white media lying. Hey, the Kenyans are out there being violent and doing violent shit. That ain't true.
No violence anywhere. Nowhere. It was very peaceful.
Exactly.
Yeah, but much love, family. See you guys later and have an amazing day. Mzales na kucheki hapo coming in late, but thank you for sneaking in. Have a good one.
All the way